Kirk Cousins at the line of scrimmage, Mike? I know you watch the Vikings more than me, right? But did he not talk and give more? They do more at the line of scrimmage last night, changing routes and plays and protections than ever before. And I got to think that's because they had a really good handle on what the 49ers do on D, probably a little based on back on Kevin O'Connell's days with the Rams and McVay and company. But they had the robot wired to just dissect this 49ers defense. And it was really, really impressive throughout the night by both O'Connell and Kirk Cousins.
And the whole pre-snap process seemed to be crisper and more efficient. There have been so many times this year where you see Cousins irritated, trying to get
hurry up.
Play clock's going down to 0, and they had delay of game. They had
a few last night, but they were doing a lot.
Trigger.
Yeah.
But a lot of times there are 15, 10 seconds left as Kirk's getting ready to get the ball. So they were making things happen faster than they usually do. And really, that's the key. Cousins was faster, not with his legs, but with his brain, with his decision-making, and he didn't doubt what he was seeing. I think that's a big part of it.
Yep.
He knew what he was seeing. He knew who was going to be where. And there were 6, 7, 8 times on the night where, the first read isn't there.
What a throw
and
there.
instead of panicking,
right,
because, the walls are closing in, we're getting to that point where he's got to either crumble or throw it away or take
crap or get off the pot, I think is the proper phrase.
He'd move to the second guy.
Yeah.
And he knew the second guy was going to be there.
Right.
Like to your point, it seemed like on every route, every play when the guys would start down the field, he instinctively knew where the second guy was going to be, and he got to him fast.
He
and
definitely
maybe this is just a product of repetition with Kevin O'Connell where I think to the quarterback series, you got to trust me. You got to trust me. Maybe Cousins finally has full and complete trust in Kevin O'Connell and is willing to do that kind of blind shift to the second guy and throw the ball because there isn't a whole lot of look to see if he's open. First guy's not there. Oh, crap, I got to do something. Throw to the second guy. And I'm telling you, some of those times it's like he didn't even check to see if the guy was there.
Well, but
he knew he was going to be there. He trusted he was going to be there, and he got rid of it.
Trusted he was going to be there, Mike. And you know how you always talk about the 49ers, right? That just aggressiveness and fly into the football, right? And we talk about the no hesitation. I think a lot of those throws, Mike, he knew where he wanted to go, but he knew if he looked the 49ers off a little bit, if I look here, these crazy SOBs, they'll all run here, and then I'll just come back here real quick. Because the 49ers are primarily a zone football team. That's what they want to do. Guys, Courtney and Kristen in the back, can we play that last montage of highlights one more time where we had the camera behind Kirk Cousins? Because I would love it. Let's slow this one down, guys, if you don't mind, and rewind this for me one time here. That first play specifically.
That's the first touchdown.
Yeah, the first touchdown. So, Mike, we'll just stop here and just stop it, guys, if you don't mind. They know. See, this was one of my first moments of the game going, they know the rules of the 49ers defense here. They got them in a good spot. So the 49ers basically here are kind of trying to play like man on the right, Mike. Charvarius Ward is over there on Osborne, right? And Hufanga is down for the back in 31 to kind of cover him man-to-man, but they're playing zone on the other side. And on the other side, see, this is what they do. They like to zone you off, and they're going to play, wait, this is 5-on-3 football right here. So they go, fine, you got a bunch left over here, 3 receivers, but we got 5 guys over here. So between Dre Greenlaw in the middle of the field, you see Fred Warner, and then there's 3 other DBs. So they're basically going, we got you cut off for every way your 3 guys go. We're going to have people there. They're great at passing off in zone coverages. So, guys, let it go slowly if we can. As it unfolds, see, they figured out ways to stress out these little 5-man zones.
There.
Right? See it? And now they go, wait, we can get Mario Addison if we do this the right way and play people the right way, right? Or Jordan Addison, excuse me. Right. We can get him one-on-one. Go back to that play one more time, guys. We can get him one-on-one with Dre Greenlaw, who we know is a great middle linebacker, but he ain't supposed to be 22 yards downfield covering our best receiver right now, right? So this was a great example to me, and when the light bulb hit and I went, oh, man, O'Connell and Cousins, They got the rules down here a little bit on the 49ers. They know what they're getting. They know how to expose these zones and push the guys in areas and spread it out a little bit. And that thank you so much, guys. It was a great job. That to me was the key to the night. The understanding of how the 49ers play things and Kirk Cousins just being absolutely on fire. I mean, on fire. It was comical at times. My wife, right? She's sitting there and she kind of likes Kirk Cousins because of the Netflix series. She thinks he's like, hey, yeah, he's a nerd, but he owns it. And, he tries so hard and he works so hard. And I mean, she was sitting there like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable, right? Because, of course, we're rooting for the 49ers and our buddy Kyle Shanahan, but still, you had to admire what he did in that night.
Here's Kevin O'Connell in the locker room after the game, celebrating the victory and giving a game ball to Mr. Primetime.
And a Kirk Cousins.
And let me give this last one right here. All right, when you play quarterback in this league, every now and again, all right, it's one of those nights. And it just happened to be against one of the best defenses in the league. O-line doing their thing. We got off the run game going. But when we needed this guy over and over again, he would not be denied. On Monday Night Football, Kirk Cousins.
They're aware of the narrative. He's 3-10 on Monday Night Football now. With that win, not before that win, with that win, he's 3-10. And that's always been the thing about Cousins. In the bigger moments, there's an extra level of awareness, an extra level of anxiety, an extra level of maybe hesitation, don't want to screw up, don't want to make the big mistake and everyone see it. But he threw all that to the wind last night. And we need to get there at some point.
Yeah.
Look at their remaining schedule. There is not another 49ers lurking around. They got the Lions twice. The last 3 weeks of the season. It goes Lions, Packers, Lions to end the year. But until then,
you got some really winnable games here.
Weeks,
yeah.
There's a run through their bye week of week 13 where these are winnable. Now, will they win all of them?
Yeah,
no.
Right.
But at the Packers, winnable. At the Falcons, it's a little dicey. Saints game, winnable. At the Broncos, winnable. Bears at home, winnable, unless the legend of Tyson Bagent continues to grow. And then at the Raiders, after the bye week. The last 4 games of the season, they should be able to beat the Packers if they need it. Week 17, currently set for NBC and Peacock, Sunday Night Football. But at the Bengals in December, who knows? Lions and Lions sandwich there week 16 and week 18. But between now and then, they're in a position where they could slip it into overdrive. And, hey, look, short week, got to go to Lambeau Field. Packers are vulnerable. This is one of those, and I'm trying to think of the most recent example where you have a big win and you can't blow it the following Sunday. You can't, you undermine what you did if you blow the next one. This is the one where it's the building block game, and if you truly are going to turn around what felt like a lost season where they're talking about who they're going to trade, you got to go to Lambeau Field and get to 4-4 through 8 games. You got to do it. After that, see where it goes. But if you just go up there and lose after pulling off one of the big upsets of the season that puts you back on the map, you're back off the map if you go up and lose to a 2-win Packers team that currently can't seem to find its way offensively.
Yeah, right. Like we talked about that with the Browns yesterday, right? Like with their win for the 49ers, you're kind of like, man, you kind of announced yourself on the scene, and then the next week you kind of denounced yourself off the scene. So that's there is, like you're saying, you got a chance to strike here and build something, build momentum in your locker room. Right? Kevin O'Connell's going to be able to tell his team, look, if we don't make self-inflicted mistakes, we're a pain in the butt, right? You guys are leading football in fumbles. So there's, like we've talked about, there's some things you watch with the Vikings and you go, they're good. There's some things you like about them and go, they'll be a pain in the butt here all year long. And if they can get Justin Jefferson back, right, we know they're scary on the offensive side of the ball. I know we haven't got to it. I don't know if you want to get to it now, but because the Vikings defense is a different animal this year, and because, again, we talked about O'Connell and Kirk Cousins and how great they are, and that was unbelievable. And like I said, I think Kevin O'Connell needs to start being put up in the, upper tier of best play callers in football, right? There's Shanahan and Mike McDaniel and Ben Johnson, right? And I think then you start to get into Kevin O'Connell and McVay, and those type of people are the next group for me. But that's how special he is. Well, the defensive side of the ball with Brian Flores and what he did on the defense with their game plan, I mean, damn, that was impressive too. It really was. Mixing it up, not letting Shanahan and company dominate the line of scrimmage with the run game, giving a lot of different looks and pass coverage. People up by the line of scrimmage, are they going to blitz? Are they all going to drop out? I mean, they did everything. And the 49ers had a hard time kind of getting in a constant or consistent rhythm throughout the night because of it.
Now, I'm not making an excuse for the 49ers.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
If they have Deebo Samuel, if
Right.
they have Trent Williams last night, is it different, or was this just a night where the Vikings had him figured out, and if they would have had Deebo, it wouldn't have mattered, and if they would have had Trent Williams, it wouldn't have mattered, because Danielle Hunter seemed to be a man on a mission last night.
Yeah, well, he was, right? I mean, he is having some year right now, Danielle Hunter. I do think it would be different. I do. Yes. Deebo Samuel is another huge headache problem. You're worried. Shanahan's offense is so diverse and versatile in so many ways. It's hard enough when you're just going, wait, we got to stop the run game, and then the other things they just do with Kittle and Ayuk last night, let alone McCaffrey also in the pass game. Then you worry about Deebo Samuel and the reverses and the screen passes they throw to him and how physical he is catching those quick slants over the middle off the quick play action, and he's running like his hair's on fire and he breaks tackles and runs like a running back. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge part of their football team. So, yeah, I do think things would have been differently just because the game plan was really good. It's just another playmaker, though, and, that is a difference maker for their football team and could have maybe gone above and beyond, the X's and O's like we talk about. So I don't know how much of a big difference it would have made, Mike, but I think it's significant enough to certainly ponder and ask the question. I think we're fair there.
And look, the Vikings didn't have Justin Jefferson either, so
That's right.
You could argue
Right.
it balances out. And injuries happen. We get to the stage of the season where nobody's 100%. Guys are going to miss games. The question is, what can the next man up do? And you still have to go out and play the game regardless of who's healthy and who's not. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.